Let's make some graphs. So in order for us to make graphs, we can either do that in Microsoft Word or we can do it in Microsoft Excel. I'm going to show you how to do it in Word because I think it comes out just a little bit neater and it gives you more opportunities to reorganize with your chart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Insert at the top, Chart. Now because this is a longitudinal study, I am going to do a line graph. I don't mind if you do the first line graph option or if you do a line graph with markers. Either one is fine. I'm going to do the first option. And you'll notice that it splits the screen between your Word document and an Excel document. Now, when I make a graph, I am only able to use two different variables, my independent variable and my dependent variable. I also told you that you need one chart and one graph per company. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to realign this document so that I am not using Series 2 or Series 3. We don't care about these guys. They can go away. Everything that's inside this blue marker is inevitably going to get graphed. Keep that in mind. So for Series 1, what I'm going to do is type in my first company. So I'm going to say Delta Airlines. And even though it's going to go outside the boundary borders, you'll see what the full name is up here. And notice when I change, it's set as my new title instead of category 1. So our first set is going to be our independent variable. And instead of categories, I have dates. The dates were given to you on your charts. So you need to use all of these dates. So you're going to take a minute and you are going to type them in. So I have 1-10-2014 and I have 1-24-2014 and I have and if I need to resize in order to fit all of these dates, I can do that. I just need to move the boundaries of the blue marker. And you'll notice on the other page, the graph already starts those trends for you. Now, my second column is going to be my dependent variable. You can use any column you want from your chart, but my suggestion would be to either use the trade value or the total stock value. Despite whichever one you choose to use, your graph is going to look almost exactly the same. It just depends on if you'd rather do smaller increments or bigger increments. Technically, if you do the change in trade value or the percent change, the graph will also look about the same. It's just going to be harder to understand for a lay person, somebody who hasn't been keeping up with the project the way you have. So keep that in mind. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting in the trade values. So I have $41.02 and I have And I'm magically finished, just like magic. Now, if I were to minimize this and enlarge this, I have a perfect graph that shows exactly what happened with the value of my stock. So that is how I can use Microsoft Office to create a graph. And you can play around with it a little bit and find different layouts and whatnot that you enjoy, different colors, so on and so forth. That's up to you. If you find out that you did make a mistake though in any of your numbers, just hit Edit Data and it will bring you back to your Excel spreadsheet. Now, additionally, if you have to select data, so change the data range included in the chart, I can do that as well. So I can either edit these numbers, I can edit whatever I want, just depending. I can switch rows and columns, I can save as template, and that's important in case you're going to make multiple charts that have the same information. In order to label different parts of my graph, I'm going to go to the top of Chart Tools, and I'm going to go to Layout. Under Layout, I have the axis titles. Primary horizontal axis title, I can either display none or title display below. And there, I can label this stock dates. And I can edit the text however I want. Then I can go back up to titles and do a vertical data title. So vertical title, and I can either have it come down like this, or I can have it rotated. Personally, I think when it's rotated, it looks a little better. And this can be trade value. And I can rotate, move these to wherever they look professional. And now I have a perfectly labeled graph of Delta Airlines. I am a kind and generous teacher, so I am going to both show you how to insert a table and then I'm going to show you how to cheat. If I want to insert my own table, all I have to do is go to Insert Table, and I can determine how many rows and columns I want. I definitely need 5 columns, meaning up and down, and then I need about 10 rows. So I can do the insert table and get exactly however many I want. And then I can label them however I want as well. But once again, I am a kind and generous teacher, and in the email I sent to you this. This is a blank copy of your stock starter sheet in Word format. So if you would prefer to use this, you may. You just have to go in, type out whatever numbers you want, fill in whatever data you want, and it's all completed. Now, what's also neat about doing your graphs in Microsoft Office is once you have this, you can highlight it, copy, go to wherever you have your graph, and you can paste it below. And what's nice about that is then when you go to print it, it looks very finished. Not only do you have the graph of the information, but you have the chart to support your data, which looks pretty cool. You're welcome.